Happy President's Day, a.k.a. buy a mattress or a car day. I don't even know where to start. We're going to have some fun. I did a show today. Did my national show. I was blessed to be able to just do one show today. But I wanted to make sure I touched on some of the stuff that we'll probably talk about more tomorrow. But insanity was in full effect. So let's start here first and foremost with the DOGE. Okay, so the DOGE was under the microscope again, and there's plenty of people out there whining and complaining and bitching and moaning and the whole nine yards. And I'm not saying that there isn't some overreach, because I'm sure we're going to find some. I'm not sure that we consider and say, well, you know, it's all for nothing and nobody's ever going to really find out what's going on with the DOGE and they're just lying and they're taking your Social Security. That's a bunch of crap, too. The reality is there's a lot of issues that need to be addressed. Not all of them are going to be perfect, but everybody's shooting the messenger. And the reality, the message is awful. And that is waste, abuse, all that stuff we've talked about. But let's talk about crazy first, shall we? How about this? Give me liberty or give me death.
He has brought about criminals, losers, liars, and cheats.
All of those.
To dismantle
nice headphones.
And, frankly, insult our great government.
Settle down.
But despite all of that, I have a great hope. I have a great hope because here, the American people are speaking out against his will.
Can I just say that he looks like if you bought McLovin on Temu. It's kind of what he looks like.
Because that's all this is. It's his personal will. And we're not going to submit to one man's will because that's not how democracy works. That's not how America works.
Tell me more.
We work on the principles that liberty is given to each of us. And in the famous words of Patrick Henry, give me liberty or give me death. Thank you.
Ooh, that's crazy right there. Give me liberty, give me death. Look at this. He's the evil guy, and Trump is, he's evil. Okay. We're not there yet, though, with insanity. We're not done with any of that stuff because we're going to go into the next one, which will bring us to our last one, which is spectacular in itself. Not the answer, but the question itself, because lo and behold, as we all know, that not everybody in the news does research and whatnot. So here we go. Next person up, crazy, go.
In his first term, his incompetence.
By the way, can I just say dressed better? Fantastic. Well done.
Cost 400,000 American lives. It is appropriate that the only person in history to be responsible for more American deaths than Donald Trump
Who?
is his idol, Adolf Hitler.
Oh, you got him there. Look at that right there. By the way, if we want to talk about deaths, and if we're going to do this, which we shouldn't because it's just a bunch of bullshit, but everybody wants, he did this on purpose. Under Trump, for a year, without the vaccine, about 420,000 deaths. Under Biden, with the vaccine, another 800+ thousand deaths. So if we're going to play the game, that's a horrible game to play because the numbers are like, oh, my God, the numbers are like totally against us, but whatever. And we're going to finish with this one. Speaking of Adolf Hitler, Mark and Brendan this weekend had Marco Rubio on because if you guys didn't see on Friday, J.D. Vance basically said, hey, look, Europe, you guys are bitching and moaning about this or about that or, well, my God, Russia, blah, blah, blah. The reality is you guys are being bitches when it comes to free speech. You guys are being all, oh, my God, somebody tweeted a meme and said something horrible. We got to go arrest them. And then, they're like, we don't do that. And then 60 Minutes did this big piece last night where it said Germans are going to arresting people for the doings, the bad things when it comes to the memes and the, oh, my God, all these things you could say on the internet. Yeah, so that didn't really play well. Margaret Brennan said this, though.
Well, he was standing in a country where free speech was weaponized to conduct a genocide. And he met with the head of a political party that has far-right views and some historic ties to extreme groups. The context of that was changing the tone of it. And you know that the censorship was specifically about the right.
Okay, well, let's first talk about this. Talking about Germany in particular, and again, the 60 Minutes piece is phenomenal. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. First things first, when it came to this, the Weimar Republic, before the Adolf came into the place where he could be the leader, tons of stuff when it came to restricting free speech, restricting speech that was angry and hateful, even went after the Nazis and got a bunch of them, even restricted Adolf Hitler at the time for speaking, et cetera, et cetera. Secondly, this want to always go, well, we don't like what the speech is. Our Supreme Court has said the only speech that is protected is hate speech. Because if you like it and I like it, well, we don't need to protect it because we all like it. The fact is, though, when you go and look at civil rights, free speech, women's suffrage, and all the way up to the vote, free speech. When you go look at, yes, kids, the gay rights movement, free speech. Without free speech, all of the things that we have that you see as wonderful today would not exist. The thought process of even saying to anybody, we need to restrict free speech at all is asinine and insane. We know there's a limit. We do. But the reality is speech should never, ever, ever, ever be restricted. And the fact that they want to continue to push it in other parts of the world, like Europe, it's going to eventually cost them everything. It is. And that's up to them. But the fact that she would bring this up, not really checking to say, hey, hold on a second, did the Weimar Republic, before it fell, did they have anything? Oh, they had something very similar to what, the Jews have here as far as a group that would protect this. Oh, yeah, that didn't work the way they thought, right? Because they restricted speech, but still speech got through. And the one thing we'll always say on our show, and if you listen to it, like and subscribe here, but also check out the Chad Benson Show on the old radio, like 6 to 9 on the West Coast, 9 to noon on the East Coast. When you decide to get angry and hateful, all the things they say you're doing to them by restricting their speech, kicking them off platforms, it only makes them think, I was right. And then what ends up happening, rather than having an opportunity to have dialogue with anybody who's angry, pissed off, and just frustrated at anything, no matter what it is, they go underground and they become quiet. And then they become radicalized and they become charged out. And then they feel like they're a martyr and that they have to take out their anger on the world. Restricting speech, no. We know there is a line, and that line we should be able to go right up to all the time if we want to. But to get rid of people's opportunity to have speech and then to take away people's opportunity to engage people who are angry and at times misguided. And when we do that, what ends up happening? You're giving them everything they want. The world is against them, and they feel like they have the opportunity now to be a martyr, and they go and they take that. Let's not do that. Like and subscribe here. Follow along across all my social medias. We'll do it again tomorrow. Have a blessed rest of your night, and I will see you mañana. As always, night-night.